Every June in China, more than 13 million students sit down at the same desk, at the same time, to take a single exam that can change the course of their entire lives. You don't think of it as pressure. You think of it as weather. It's just always there. The way humidity is always there in Wuhan in July. The way your mother's face is always there at the dinner table, watching you eat too slowly, watching you breathe wrong, watching you exist at a speed that doesn't match the timeline she has built in her head since the day you were born. The timeline is simple. Study hard, score high, get into a good university, get a good job. Give her a reason to stop worrying. She has been worrying since 1987. You are her solution. You are 17 years old. Here's what the Gaokao actually is, because most people who haven't lived it don't understand the scale of what they're looking at. 13.35 million students sat for it last year. Not 13.35 million in your province. Not 13.35 million across a region. 13.35 million people, in the same 2-day window, in the same June heat, opening the same envelope that will determine more about their next 40 years than anything they will ever do again in their entire lives. 2 days. That's it. 12 years of school, thousands of hours of study, every sacrifice your family has made and pointed at you like a compass pointed north, and it all collapses into 2 days of exams you cannot retake without spending another year of your life trying. The exam covers Chinese, mathematics, and English mandatory. Then your elective subjects: physics, chemistry, biology, history, geography, politics. The questions are not hard the way a puzzle is hard. They are hard the way a wall is hard. You don't solve them with cleverness. You solve them with the accumulated muscle memory of answering the same type of question 10,000 times until your hand moves without waiting for your brain. Your chance of getting into Tsinghua or Peking University, China's 2 most elite schools, is roughly 5 in 10,000. You are not aiming for Tsinghua. You are aiming for a Yi Ben school, a first-tier university, which means scoring in the top third of your province. Your province has 6 million people in it. 1/3 of them did not take the Gaokao. Of the ones who did, you need to beat most of them. Your mother already knows which universities she will accept. She has a list. The list is on the refrigerator. It has been on the refrigerator since you were 14. Your day starts at 5:30 a.m. Not because your alarm goes off at 5:30, because your body has been conditioned to panic at 5:30. You wake before the alarm now, the way soldiers in old wars used to wake before artillery. You don't know when it happened. Sometime in the second year of high school, your nervous system just decided that 5:30 a.m. was when the threat began and adjusted accordingly. You eat breakfast standing up because sitting down takes 3 minutes, and 3 minutes is a flashcard set. You eat congee your mother makes at 5:15. She has been awake since 5. She will not admit she has been awake since 4:40. The walk to school takes 9 minutes. You use the 9 minutes to review vocabulary cards. You have 340 English words left to memorize before the exam. You know this because you counted them the night before instead of sleeping. You are sleeping about 5 hours a night. The school recommends 7. The school also assigns 4 hours of homework per night on top of 8 hours of class, so the school's relationship with mathematics is something you have decided not to examine too closely. Class runs from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., with a 2-hour break in the afternoon that is technically rest time, but is functionally a second study session in a different chair. Your school is a good school by your city's standards. That means the hallways smell like dry erase markers and ambition, and the teachers have a habit of writing final exam scores on the board next to your name in red ink, because in this system, public accountability is considered motivational rather than cruel, and nobody has stopped to ask the students which one they think it is. You are ranked 23rd in your class. There are 58 students in your class. Your mother knows your rank. She knew before you told her. She has contacts. She has always had contacts. The thing nobody talks about is the loneliness. Not the study alone, lights off loneliness. The lonelier kind. The kind where you are surrounded by 57 other students who are all inside the same machine you are inside, and none of you can talk about it because talking about it is wasted time. And wasted time is the one thing none of you can afford. You have a friend named Wei. You have been friends since the 6th grade. You used to play basketball together on Sunday mornings. You haven't played basketball in 14 months. You see each other every day for 15 hours, and you have not had a real conversation in so long that you've both forgotten what your actual voices sound like when they're not reciting formulas. He is ranked 11th. You don't talk about this either. Your phone is locked in a drawer at school from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. because phones are forbidden in classrooms, and the drawer is the rule, and the rule exists because last year a student in another school was caught with formulas written on his forearm, and it made the news, and the crackdown came swiftly and efficiently in the way crackdowns in China always come, completely and without discussion. In 2024, they added iris scanners and AI facial recognition cameras at exam sites to catch cheaters. In 2016, they made cheating on the Gaokao a criminal offense. In the 5 years after that law passed, over 11,000 people were punished. Some of them went to prison. You are not thinking about cheating. You are thinking about not making a mistake on the answer sheet. The answer sheet is machine read. One misaligned bubble, and it does not matter what you know. Your father works in Shenzhen. He has been working in Shenzhen for 3 years. He comes home for the Spring Festival and for a week in October. He calls on Sunday nights. The calls last about 20 minutes. He asks how your studying is going. You say fine. He says good. There is a silence that is shaped like everything he wants to say, but doesn't know how to. You fill it by asking about his health. He says fine. He sends money every month. The money goes toward your tutoring. You have a math tutor on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You have a physics tutor on Saturdays. The Saturday tutor charges 350 yuan an hour. Your father earns about 9,000 yuan a month. You have done this math and then immediately stop doing this math because some numbers are not useful to carry around. Your mother does not have a job right now. She had a job at an insurance company until about 18 months ago, when she decided that the most important job she could do was make sure you didn't fall apart before June. She monitors your sleep schedule. She tracks your practice test scores in a notebook. She buys the specific brand of sesame crackers you like because they are the only snack you eat while studying without complaining. She has bought 11 bags of sesame crackers in the past 2 months. You haven't thanked her for the crackers. Not once. Not because you don't notice. Because the gratitude is so large it has no door. If you opened it for 1 second, you would not be able to close it again, and you cannot afford to feel anything that large right now. April arrives and the practice tests begin in full. Your school runs a mock Gaokao every 3 weeks. The mock Gaokao is a full simulation. Proctors, timers, sealed rooms, answer sheets. Your score comes back 4 days later. Your rank comes back with it. Both go on the board. Your April score is 541. The Yiben threshold in your province last year was 518. You are above it. Your mother does not celebrate. She says there is still room to improve. She is right. She is always right. You understand this and still feel something small die in your chest when she says it. Wei scores 589. You congratulate him. He says it means nothing until the real one. You both know he's lying. You both know he's allowed to feel good about 589. Neither of you says this. The physical symptoms start somewhere in May. You develop a habit of pressing your thumbnail into your palm when you're anxious, which means you are pressing your thumbnail into your palm approximately 16 hours a day. You have a headache that has been living behind your left eye for 6 weeks. It is not a bad headache. It is not a headache that requires a doctor. It is just a headache that has decided to become your roommate and stop asking permission. 36.5% of Gaokao students show first onset depressive symptoms in the 9-month window around the exam. You don't know this statistic. Nobody tells you this statistic. You only know what you feel, which is the specific heaviness of someone who has been running at full capacity for so long that full capacity no longer feels like an achievement. It just feels like the floor. The week before the exam, the city changes. Construction stops near schools. Not pauses. Stops. City ordinances. Traffic is redirected. Police appear at intersections to clear paths for exam buses. Ambulances park outside test sites. Not because something will go wrong, as preparation for the possibility that something might. The city is telling you, in the only language cities speak, that it knows what you are about to do and it is clearing the road. Your mother buys you a new pencil case. You already have a pencil case. She buys you another one. The pencils inside it are pre-sharpened to identical points. She packs your bag the night before. You let her. She has prepared your clothes for the exam days. Nothing red. Red is for parents the color of hope they hold on your behalf from outside the gates. You wear blue. She says blue is calm. She says calm is what you need. She holds your face in her hands the morning of the exam and says nothing for a long time. Just looks at you. Then she says, eat your breakfast. You eat your breakfast standing up. June 7th. 8 a.m. The exam begins. The room holds 30 students at individual desks spaced far enough apart that you can't see your neighbor's paper even if you tried, which you are not trying, which does not stop your body from sweating anyway. The proctor announces the rules. You know the rules. You have known the rules since the 9th grade. The first exam is Chinese language, 150 minutes, reading comprehension, classical poetry analysis, writing. The essay question this year asks you to write about the relationship between individual effort and historical circumstance. You stare at it for 45 seconds. Then you begin. Your hand moves. The years of movement take over. The mathematics exam is in the afternoon. This is the one. Mathematics is where the Gaokao separates people. It is elegant and brutal the way a good lock is elegant. Beautiful to look at, unforgiving to misread. You work through the multiple choice. You work through the fill in the blank. Then you reach question 21, the final proof problem, worth 12 points, designed so that most students cannot finish it in the time allowed. It is designed this way on purpose. The Gaokao is not trying to find out what you know. It is trying to find out how you perform when you run out of time. You get through 2 of the 3 steps before the proctor calls 5 minutes. You write what you can, you submit what you have. You walk out of the room and Wei is already outside, and you both say nothing, because there is nothing to say that won't make it worse or better in ways that neither of you are equipped to handle right now on the sidewalk outside the exam hall, with your parents waiting 30 meters away, behind the police line, dressed in red. The scores come back in 3 weeks. You are sitting at the kitchen table when the results post online. Your mother is standing behind you. She has been standing behind you for 4 minutes. She is very still. You have never noticed before how still your mother can be when she is terrified. The number appears on the screen. You say it out loud. 562. Your mother repeats it. 562. Then she does the math, because your mother always does the math. And the math says 562 is above the Yi-Ben threshold and below the top 15% of your province and enough to get into a solid university, but not the first choice on the refrigerator list. She says that's a good score. There is a silence after this that is shaped like everything the word good is quietly refusing to say. You look at the number on the screen for a long time. 562. 12 years of school. 3 years of Gaokao preparation. 5 hours of sleep a night for the better part of a year. Your father's Shenzhen salary. Your mother's year without a job. 340 vocabulary words and 11 bags of sesame crackers and a headache behind your left eye and a thumbnail pressed into your palm until it left a permanent small indentation and Wei's face in the hallway after the math exam. The refrigerator list and the red clothes and the cleared roads and the ambulances waiting outside just in case. Your phone buzzes. Wei got 601. He texts you a single thumbs up emoji. You text back a single thumbs up emoji. You are genuinely happy for him. And something else at the same time that you don't have a name for yet, but you will eventually. Once you're old enough to understand that grief and pride can live in the same room and neither one is wrong for being there, you enroll at a university in Chengdu in September. Your mother helps you pack. She folds every shirt. She labels your medicine container with dates and dosages. She buys you a new set of bed sheets in a color she says will help you sleep, as if sleeping was ever the problem. As if you have done anything but sleep since the exam results came back, and the machine that had been running at maximum capacity for 3 years finally, suddenly, switched off. The sleeping is strange. You sleep 9 hours, 10 hours. You wake up, and there is nothing to review. No rank on a board, no practice test in 3 weeks, no thumbnail pressed into your palm. You don't know what to do with hands that aren't gripping anything. Your father drives you to the train station. He carries your suitcase. He puts it on the platform and stands next to it and looks at you with the same expression your mother had the morning of the exam. The long look that holds everything he has never said about how much this cost him, and how little he was willing to let you know it was costing him, and how glad he is that you're going, even though going means leaving. He says, "Study hard." You say, "I will." He nods. He doesn't hug you. He's not a man who hugs. But he stands on the platform and watches until the train is gone. And you know this because you turn around at the last moment and he is still there, standing next to the spot where the suitcase was, smaller now, getting smaller. Here's the thing about the Gaokao that takes years to understand. It is not designed to measure what you're worth. It was never designed to measure what you're worth. It is designed to move 13 million people through a single gate in an orderly way. And orderly movement requires a number, and the number is yours now. And the number doesn't know about the headache behind your left eye, or your father on the platform, or your mother's stillness at 3. The number doesn't know about Way's thumbs up, or the crackers, or the 9 minutes of flashcards every morning, or the specific way your city cleared its streets for you, just for those 2 days, as if to say, we know what this is, we see what this costs, we are moving everything out of your way. The Gaokao will not remember you. The refrigerator list is gone now. The board with the red ink rankings has already been wiped clean for the next class. But you will remember the morning your mother held your face and said nothing. You will remember the cleared roads and the ambulances. You will remember pressing your thumbnail into your palm in the examination room when the mathematics question opened in front of you like a door you weren't sure you had the key to. And you opened it. Imperfectly. With a headache. With 5 hours of sleep. With your whole family waiting behind a police line in red. China keeps moving. 13 million lives sitting down at the same desk in the same June heat with the same number of minutes on the clock. Not one of them required to notice the others. All of them carrying the same quiet weight of people who love them too much to say out loud how afraid they are. That's the thing about a country this size. There's always room for one more story that nobody finishes reading. If this one hit close, drop a comment and tell me which part stayed with you. If you've sat for the Gaokao or watched someone you love go through it, I want to hear it. Every story in this series starts with someone's real experience. Hit subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one.